Welcome back. It's time for Greg's Hypocrite of the Week. Yes, this is a new segment where I single out a person who says one thing and then does another. This week's hypocrite. Hypocrite number one is Greg Gutfeld. Why? Because on this show, I've slammed the use of secret recordings and gotcha videos where undercover investigators get lowly staffers to narc on their bosses while at bars. Frankly, if you record people long enough while they're drinking, you can get them to say anything, and that scares me. Except when it comes to CNN. Project Veritas released recordings of CNN's news call between staffers and Jeff Zucker, where he validates all your assumptions about the chief goal of his biased network, to be the Trump impeachment network, in order to get eyeballs and revenge while still calling it news.
We're moving towards impeachment. I mean, don't, we shouldn't pretend, this is going one way, and so all these moves are moves towards impeachment. So don't lose sight of what the big story is.
Earth-shattering. Now, do I feel good discussing this sneaky stuff? No. But I do feel good that we're hearing from the horse's mouth exactly what we knew all along. That after doing their best to make Trump the nominee, figuring he'd lose, CNN must now destroy Trump because he won. It's not news to you. We all knew this. But now it can be no longer denied by CNN, which is nice, given all the times they've accused Trump supporters of being dumb sheep, like this crap fest from last night.
If enough Americans, because remember, Trump has 31% of hardcore. They'll follow him to hell or wherever he's going. They don't care about the facts. They don't know about the facts. Okay, they're fine people, except they're ignorant about these things that we're talking about, and they will not budge from that.
So does that snap on and snap off? So was that commentary or news? Who cares? It's all the same to them, and it's made to order for their boss. So as much as I hate secret recordings, I will take this one. And by the way, so should CNN. I mean, they do love a good whistleblower, don't they? All right. Jesse.
Yes.
How do you feel about this particular...
Sam Donaldson's hair?
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I do.
wish I had hair like that.
You will one of these days.
I just have to comb it over a little bit more to the front, and then, wow, that's a helmet, and it looks good on him. But I don't believe anything else he said.
What is the plus or minus on this leaky video?
Well, I'm not...
And I am a hypocrite, by the way.
Okay, so am I. In other arenas. I'm not blown away by the content of it. I think that the president of CNN saying that we got to follow impeachment, we have to follow impeachment hard is not breaking news.
Yeah.
Or that he said, let's call out Lindsey Graham. Okay. Yeah. Or he said Fox News is destructive. He said that out in the open many, many times. The people that they did get access to seem to me to be kind of low-level players without any editorial power. Yeah. And they said things, as you mentioned, that Zucker feels guilty about The Apprentice and now is trying to get revenge, or that people in the elevator on election night were pretty bummed out at CNN. Yeah, that's not breaking news to me. The main takeaway is that CNN says it's a non-biased, down-the-middle, straight news organization, even in prime time, when they're clearly not. But other than that, I think the guy's kind of a rat, more of a disgruntled employee. He's not a whistleblower because nothing out there on the tape was illegal, and I think he'll never get hired ever again. This is I think one or two videos have come out. We're expecting a third. I'm anticipating something more. I'm excited. I think O'Keefe is a great journalist and a brave guy who's looking for truth. But at this point, I'm still waiting for bigger, more explosive things.
Dana, that was very fair and balanced from Jesse. He said he liked the work, but was disappointed in the product.
He can't wait for the next one.
He can't wait for the next one. But I think what gets me is Brian Stelter is actually writing a book about Fox News. He works at CNN. He's writing a book. They're constantly calling us state-run and
what would they talk about without Fox News?
Exactly.
And not just CNN.
But so now we know that actually they're kind of run with an ideology.
Here's the thing. I don't like secret videos.
I know.
Because I think people...
I apologize for that.
Yeah, that was terrible, actually. And I accept your apology.
Yes. You acid wash that one, Gutfeld.
What was I going to say? Oh, I think that if you are competing against one another in terms of ideology or a corporation or a team or something like that, win on the merits. Like, for example, if there was a sports-oriented James O'Keefe and he went into the team meeting in the locker room of the Cowboys and he gave the information to the Eagles.
Good.
Well done.
Also an NFL team.
I was going to say the Phillies. Okay. Because that would not make sense. The Eagles, but I looked at you and I thought Philadelphia. Then I think that people are like, oh, look, that's what they were going to do. I think people would be outraged by that. The Cowboys and the Eagles can fight it out and see who wins. Yeah. And it'll probably be the
Eagles.
Cowboys.
Oh, come on. Hey, we haven't played yet this season.
I'm going to float a theory. Yeah. Okay, during the election, FNC wasn't Trump TV. We had like 19 candidates. We were having all these intense fights. I wasn't for Trump. I was a Rubio guy. We were all fighting about it. But CNN, none of those other candidates mattered on the Republican side. They put all their eggs on Trump, and I think now they feel guilty about that. So calling it state run's hilarious, but they were actually, this is their penance.
Well, no, I think if you're right about the Zucker-Trump relationship, which I think has been written about extensively, and CNN did give a lot of airtime, but I think we all gave a lot of airtime to Donald Trump.
I think we were the fairest network of all because we remember how the fight we were practically ripping each other's throats out.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, forget what we say. It was the coverage of the Trump rallies, which I mean, I didn't think Trump did all that well in the debates. I mean, the bullying language and like, but the rallies is what was great TV, and everybody just covered it as TV without understanding. Hey, this has political consequence. But to my mind, I've worked for several journalistic organizations, and if you wiretapped any of our morning editorial calls, I think you would hear stuff, then you would say, well, is that a bias? Is that not a bias? Look, there's no bias in the boss saying to you, impeachment and Trump are the biggest story in American politics right now. So I'm with Jesse on this. I don't see that there's anything newsy or even evidence of bias in saying, hey, you reporters, don't lose sight of the big story because that's what our audience wants to hear about.
Now, Emily, I would say that they make it the big story by saying that. It's like, we have to keep this thing going. We have to keep the flame going.
Yeah, they're creating their own fire.
Yeah.
What struck me about what came out on those tapes were when the guy said that they, meaning the CNN executives, that they don't like Tulsi Gabbard because she takes an unconventional route with policy. And that is exactly what comes out of the left and the Democrats, is they will never support free thinking. And that was the saddest part to all, is not that they're focusing on Trump and impeachment, but that they are ignoring everyone else that deserves attention. Final point, it kills me, maybe because I travel so much, that 323 million people are subjected to CNN in the airports. And I encourage every airport to let their contract lapse, just like SFO just did, because people are getting tired of it. And now that it's so clear...
Wow, so you can't buy bottled water or watch CNN at San Francisco Airport?
Wait, so...
No, they're not renewing their contract because their argument was that so many people have their smartphones.
Who are they going to sign with Al Jazeera?
Well, we can put in a pitch. We should.
Yeah, we should.
There you go.
They love us in San Francisco, I heard.